Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. My name's Semicolon, and today we have our sales review number 3. And once again, I have basically no gold, and so I'm kind of forced to do this sales review. Honestly, sooner than I'd like to. I'd like to build the mailbox up a bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and start emptying the mail, and then just like the last one, we'll take a look through TSM. I installed a new add-on, Journalator, and we'll probably take a look at that one too, and see what it's saying in terms of sales. It's obviously not gonna have any purchase data or like expense data, but it'll at least have sales. But yeah, I would like to have this mailbox be built up a little bit more. Towards the end of Dragonflight, shoot, I had mailbox emptyings that, I had like several thousand, I think, sold auctions in my mailbox, or at least like 1,500 to 2,000. So, striving for that. But it's also like crafting so much more expensive now. So I just kind of fly through gold. But I've been doing a lot of shuffling here recently. I have been doing a lot of work on the gold cheat sheet. So just while the mailbox is emptying out, I just want to kind of talk through everything that's been added to the gold cheat sheet. And by the way, a link for that should be in the description, but also feel free to check out my Discord, where you can also find that information. But currently on the gold cheat sheet, we have prospecting, crushing, milling, unraveling, and portioned steak, aka hot honeycomb within cooking. So we've got 5 different options in terms of checking out profitability on the gold cheat sheet, but pretty soon here, and I've actually already kind of built it into the not public version of the gold cheat sheet, but I have disenchanting and core alloy. So disenchanting shuffle essentially. So number 1 is blacksmith hammers, number 2 is I think it's pioneers cloth cuffs within tailoring. And so just trying out a couple of those different disenchanting shuffles, and actually it's been fairly profitable from what I've seen. So super happy to see that. So stay tuned. It's another good reason to join the Discord. You'll be updated anytime a new version of the gold cheat sheet comes available. So moving on from that, 6,265,000 gold. I'm super psyched to see that we're up to that. Looking at TSM, let me go to 1 month. So at our last emptying, it put us up to, I think it was right over 5 mil. I don't think this is totally accurate, just because I think what happens is if I send out gold soon after like emptying my mailbox, it just like gets an average over a period of time. Like maybe it's for the day or something along those lines. But we're at 6,300,000, so probably about 1 million made between when we last emptied the mailbox, which was September 5th or 6th, so 2 to 3 days ago. Made at least 1 million gold, so super psyched about that. And actually, I still have probably like 500k invested into a disenchanting shuffle currently, so hopefully that will turn into like 600k. I don't know, we'll have to see. But anyways, I'm gonna open up Journalator, and let's see if this has some data on everything that we have sold. So as you can see, obviously a shit ton of missives. Let's do missive. Okay, so we have done 645,000, basically 646,000 gold in sales within missives over the past couple of days. So actually super happy to see that. Missives were selling super well. I mean, I don't know, like last week they were selling like 4 to 5k each. Now, as you can see, it's down to like 1,000 to 1,500. Depending on the type of missive. Multi-craft has dropped significantly. Sad to see that, but whatever. So we've got a lot of missive sales, which has been awesome. I think the biggest thing that we have done in terms of sales is actually Apricot ink. So looking at Apricot Ink, we've had almost 3 million gold worth of sales with just ink. There's some random shadow inks strewn within here, but for the most part, it's largely Apricot. And essentially, how I've been doing that is I've been using my gold cheat sheet to figure out the value of milling the herbs needed to craft Apricot ink, and then crafting that ink. So, like, if you were to go on TSM right now or CraftSim on your ink crafter, for example, and scan the auction house with just auction house prices, it might only say that the ink is like, like 20 gold profit per craft. But if milling is profitable, then if you take those herbs, or I guess those pigments that you milled, and use those to craft the apricot ink, you're going to take that 20 gold profit per craft and maybe turn it into like 100 gold profit per craft. Maybe not that big, maybe it's some bigger. I have seen a couple of times, just looking at auction house prices, where using pigments that I milled increases the value of the apricot ink per craft by like 150 gold. So yeah, inking has been wonderful. If you're familiar with anything I was doing back in Dragonflight, I did a lot of inking then. I'm excited to see, like if like a year from now, or like towards the end of War Within, assuming we're still going at it, just how much in total sales apricot ink. It would, tens of millions of gold, I would have to imagine. So ink has been wonderful. Let's see here. I guess maybe TSM would be better, just from the standpoint of I can sort by groups. So, blacksmithing, we'll just do last 3 days. Yeah, nothing. Just a few core alloy sales, which I haven't been selling core alloy. Obviously, I've just been crafting that into blacksmith hammers. Looking at cooking, I do want to spend some more time on cooking, and I have a lot of plans to add a bunch of cooking information to the gold cheat sheet. So only 68,000 gold in sales from cooking over the past few days. I think cooking still has a lot of potential, and I think it'll take off once season 1 starts. Today is Sunday, so just a couple of days until season 1 launches. So I'll be, I think it's definitely worth putting time into cooking, and I think that it will only get better. Moving from cooking, we can look at enchanting. So at enchanting, we're at almost 600,000 gold. So we have Storm Dust. If I could type that out. So Storm Dust, we've had 530,000 gold worth of sales. I don't believe... This might be from 2 different enchanting shuffles, potentially, or disenchanting shuffles. But I know this is profit, because I went through and did the enchanting or disenchanting shuffle just the other day and spent like 200k crafting core alloy, and the value of the Storm Dust after the fact was like right around 300k. So I'm guessing this is two different shuffles, but super happy with that. And we already kind of saw missives, but let's just take a look at, or we saw missives and ink, but inscription as a whole, which there's really not much else on here. And this is how I can actually, kind of convinced. If you saw my last sales review video, I was kind of confused and felt like it wasn't totally displaying everything that had been sold. And this is kind of confirmation for me that that is in fact the case. Just looking at the last 3 days, even the last 7 days, it's only putting us at 2.2 million worth of sales. But Journalator had much more than that. So, but I mean, looking through some of these recipes, as you can see, it's primarily inks and missives. There are some boundless ciphers strewn throughout there. Boundless ciphers I haven't really found are profitable within the past week or so. Now, with that being said, I'm not really spec'd in terms of knowledge points for boundless ciphers. So I'd imagine people that are spec'd for it are probably making better money. I think really that in order for boundless ciphers to be profitable right now, you probably need to be able to use rank 1 materials to get a rank 2 boundless cipher. But again, I also think, and I think this with literally everything, that the prices are gonna get better once season 1 starts. Now, let me clarify that profitability is going to get better once season 1 starts. I think there's definitely a chance that prices continue to come down, but crafting costs I think will also reduce and at a higher rate potentially. But ultimately, nobody fucking knows, so don't take my word for it. Literally, nobody has any clue how exactly things are going to work out once season 1 starts. Moving on to jewel crafting, this is another one that hasn't been super fruitful for me as of recent. Now I did within the past like 2 days. I set up a second jewel crafter and specifically went glasswares, and I think the other one is carving or stonework, something along those lines, to try to maximize profitability with jewel crafting materials or reagents. So I'm going to continue doing that. But in terms of like actual gem cutting, haven't found a lot of opportunity with that. It seems like the only time gems are profitable is if you're using concentration to rank 3 some gems. And so obviously that's kind of a limited thing. So kind of a challenge with gem cutting currently. But I obviously have a lot of faith that gems will take off once season 1 starts, but more so like once jewel crafters can start getting to a point where they can guarantee rank 3 gems without concentration, because I believe that is going to be doable. At that point, we'll also start seeing things take off. Also, people just don't have a ton of gear that has sockets in it, so there's just not much of a market for sockets right now, but that's obviously going to change. Leatherworking has been complete trash for me. It's not even worth looking at this, if I'm being honest. I'm sure it'll get better, but as of now, junk. And then tailoring. So tailoring, this is also not keeping everything that we've done. So let's see if we can spool. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so spools of dawn thread, weaver thread, and dusk thread. So if you guys have looked at the auction house within the past couple days, you've probably seen that spools of dawn thread and dusk thread have skyrocketed. From what I hear, the reason of that is Blizzard nerfed the drop rates of dusk thread and dawn thread in a lot of popular cloth farming spots. But ultimately what I was doing for this profit was just unraveling. And if you were wondering, yes, I do also have unraveling built into the Goldmaking cheat sheet as well. So you can kind of get an idea for profitability with unraveling. I just put the numbers into the gold cheat sheet just like 5 minutes before I started recording this video, and unraveling looks very profitable right now. So once I'm done recording this video, I'm probably going to go do some unraveling. So definitely take a look at that. And you know, one thing I was just thinking of that I haven't really done in the past few days, or really at all this expansion, is look at crafted gear from, or not crafted gear, but profession equipment from tailoring. And I think that there's still a lot of opportunity with profession equipment. So I'm probably going forward going to make it more of a point to look at all of my different professions and the profession equipment specifically, and do that crafting. Again, I think there's absolutely still potential for it. People are still getting alts made and set up. And so I do think sales will still come. Especially if you're looking at like tailoring, professional equipment, or alchemy. I think a lot of people are creating alt armies with those two professions. And so, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an increased sell rate on tailoring and alchemy profession equipment specifically. So yeah, that's kind of it. We got 6.3 million gold out of the auction house. I'm super happy with that. I'm about to reinvest all of that into more gold making. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and just want to give you a quick sneak peek. Well, it's not really a sneak peek, but a quick view of the gold cheat sheet. So as I mentioned, I did get blacksmithing built in. I've got enchanting built in. We've got inscription with milling, cooking currently, just hot honeycomb, aka portion steak. We've got unraveling. Like I said, I just put in the numbers for unraveling and am happy to see these numbers. So like School of Dusk thread, it cost 447,000 gold, but I could expect to make, 37,500 gold. And it would take roughly 18 minutes to make that. So jewel crafting, I have prospecting and crushing. It has been complete trash. I wasted hundreds of thousands of gold collecting the data for this. Not going to touch it again for the time being. Continually opening up or updating the prices, but it hasn't once been like, oh, this is actually worth doing. So again, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this gives you some ideas on crafting to do. And I just want to remind you that the gold cheat sheet is free to use. That's kind of what I'm all about, is I just want to help people make gold. So link should be in the description, but you can also join my Discord, which there will also be a link in the description, and get access to future sheets through there. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment giving me feedback or what you'd like to see. How have your sales been? I'm always curious to know what you're doing or what everyone's doing in terms of gold making to hopefully expand my horizons. So let me know in the comments and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.